Okay, the document that I had Tom post up there, you can take it and start filling it in, okay? Your first and middle name goes on the first line. Then your family name goes on the next line. Blank. You're an American citizen born upon the land. As a living National Treasury principal owner, CEO, with no number over your National Treasury private bank. You may have more than one if you served in the military. The first one is your name that they have on there, like in my case, Patrick Devine, private bank. It's on the certificate of live birth. That is a letters patent, and I've said this before. It's a letters patent document. Okay, when it got that registration number on there, that was your bank number. And it's an American National Treasury letters patent created national private bank number, and then you put the numbers on your certificate of live birth in there. And it's holding our allotted birthing inheritance. And all of our United States and state of corporate preferred dividends assets. And I know the date mine was activated. It was about 90 days after my date of being born. Second one is basically your military bounty discharging national private bank. The bank's number is the selective service number. Now, they established for every man a bank, but whether it got activated or not depends on whether you actually served in active duty. So, it was activated on, and basically at the termination of my first honorable discharge. That's the date that goes in there. But the problem was, they cannot be accessed in the private until we have created a living private banking CFO as an individual banker, and he has his authorization EIN number or his authorization number, employee number. And that's what we just got with that individual banker's EIN. That was his employee authorization number to be our private banking CFO. The Social Security account created a public banking employee, authorized employee, with that Social Security number. It's all about banking. I've said this over and over again out here.
Bill Smith and Lawrence Singleton.
Okay? So, all we have to do is come in, and we have if you have your estate EIN, you've declared your public banker dead. That's the Social Security person. So now you've got it. That's a death certificate for him. Now he's dead. Now you had to have somebody else replace him, and you had to get this individual private banker in place as your CFO. Now you have two private banking accounts, like I said, to draw from. And then we can basically go forward in this process when you look at this that we've got here. Where the hell am I at? Okay. So, both the United States Corporation and our birthing state corporation were granted the right to use our private bank's allotted birthing inheritance of Treasury assets as collateral. Initially, this was to be for 21 years, or until it was claimed. We have a private bank was also to have shares of the corporate preferred dividends deposited into the account on a yearly basis from the profits of the two corporations. Now, those are corporations. Later on, everything I'm talking down below is a company. There's a difference between the United States Corporation and the United States Fidelity and Insurance Company. And all these other items down here are fidelity and guarantee companies out here. We gave to the Social Security. When you signed up with them, you did two things. You created a public banker in your name and employee authorization SSN number with a dead banker person's birth date, and that's basically the date, same date that your birth sac was born or birthed, was the date you were born. That's why they always ask you for that date, because it's about your birth sac, your dead entity. And that's why they go back to that date instead of the date that you signed up with Social Security. You got to think about these things out here. Why did they do it this way? What's going on here? Why do they ask for my birth date all the time? Because that's what's tied into the Social Security dead banker person's birthing date. And that's really your birth sac. And basically, a sac is holding your funds, a purse. The second item you did when you signed that Social Security card is you gave them an open-ended letter of credit to the Foreign Social Security Administration, Fidelity and Guarantee Company, as they are a foreign banking customer to our private bank, National Treasury private bank account. Allowed all the other companies down below there to come in as Fidelity and Guarantee companies on their own. Most of them are operating under the state of whatever in the process, especially like the public utilities, the churches, or the, not churches, but the hospitals, some of the public utilities, state public utilities, they're all licensed by the state. And if you'll notice, I think I put SS in front of all those.
Yeah.
They're all utilizing the Social Security number. Every one of them. You had to give it to them. To get the account or whatever opened up. So they're all tied back to that Social Security, to your dead banker person. And now when you come in, you go into court and you say, hey, here's my death certificate for that person. Here's my, I'm in the private, I'm coming in as the private banker or individual banker for my private bank. And you're out here operating as a bank robber against my private bank. I'll bring charges against you unless this thing is properly settled right here and now. You can exonerate the judge and get him to back down right away, and then go after the prosecutor. Most judges will run for the hills right away, because when they know that you've gotten that far, they know that they can go to jail if they don't settle this thing, because now they're going against the country, the national treasury. Yeah, they can be bank robbers as long as we don't know that they're bank robbers utilizing this stuff. They've got a guarantee fund account there of assurances that is in our public banker's name. But we can't access it until we get our individual banker in place. Then we can tax the living shit out of them and take them into oblivion. Make sure he doesn't get up out of the ground, because we will put the silver bullets to him. That's how we do it. I tried to explain this out and what's going on. I tried to go over the last two calls in a lot of this. This I tried to lay out a little better so you can put your numbers in there and start seeing where everything's at.
Yep.
But you are an American National Treasury private bank. You, as the living, are the CEO, the principal owner, the prince. This is your royal inheritance. You're a prince of the land. You are an American, a mayor. You're operating in admiralty, admir, prince. You stand over all of these public corporations. A private always stands higher than a public. Now, once you have your estate EIN and your individual banker's number, that certificate of live birth that you get is a bank note. That is your bank note. It's got your private bank number on it. So it's your private bank note. Says that on the bottom of the page. Bank note. Now, you can either take it into the Federal Reserve Bank, if you got one close by, or you can take it into another bank and have them process it through and deposit it into your account. You set up a non-interest bearing account and you just pay them storage fees. You can get a debit card for that. That you can go and do that tomorrow morning. You need a Form 56, and you need to have your 2 letters for each EIN, for the estate EIN and for the individual banker's EIN. That's all you need to take with you, plus your certificate of live birth. Or if you have a DD-214, you can do the same thing there. That is a military bank note, discharging bank note. Especially if it's got your selective service number on it. because that's your private bank number. Should have that one for the very first DD-214 you got. If not, you get a copy of your selective service so you know what your military private bank number is. And then you should, if you got, you should have a wet ink signature copy of that. And I've told you before to go and deposit that into the military records at the county recorder's office. Then you can get certified copies of that. Now it's certified by them. And then all you have to do is the endorsement on the back of it. The assigning of the value of that bank note under your private bank's name and number. Assign the value that you want to have discharged from that account, from that bank, over to this other bank by way of your EIN routing number, your estate routing number. And then down below, you would have your endorsement signature and seal and authorization number. Your CFO's authorization number, private bankers or individual bankers' authorization number. That's his EIN. The banks do this all the time. We've had people go into the banks before with certificates, and they said, "What's your number? What's your number?" They didn't ask for all this other stuff, but basically, you should go in with the Form 56F and your 2 letters and your certificate. Then you've got everything covered. That's all you need. You don't need any other affidavits. You don't need any other garbage out here in the damn process. Keep it simple, stupid. You should try and go to a national bank if you're going to do this, or go to the Federal Reserve Bank. You'll have better and faster response. You could possibly also even send it into the Treasury or to your district IRS office, because they're part of the Department of the Treasury. If you guys start standing up to these guys and start thinking about this shit, or else you're lost. You don't have to get belligerent about it. You just have to stand your ground to them. Show them that you're not going to be intimidated by them any longer. When you show no fear, they will run like hell.
You said when you get tired.
But if you cow down and whine and whimper and everything else, they're going to take out their stick and they're going to beat the living shit out of you. I don't know what more I can tell you guys. I tried to go with this for the last 4 or 5 years. Every bit of this is almost a repeat of everything that I've said. You also can get this in. If you've got your estate EIN, you've got your individual banker's EIN, now you can go in and start going after the assets in those accounts. Fill out a 1099-A. Fill out a 1041. Put it in. Get it in the goddamn mail. I told you that before. As soon as you got that, get it in the goddamn mail. You're not going to get shit. And I'm sick and tired of people out here whining and whining and cowing down and not being sitting right there next to the damn bank almost and not going and doing it. I just got 2 local state banks here where I'm at, and basically both of them have sort of blackballed me out of the place. And then it was raining cats and dogs most of the day today. And I haven't got a means to get any place right now. But I've got a whole bunch of stuff in with the IRS. I'm waiting for them to come back. But I'm also going to send something else out here very shortly up to the IRS or up to the Treasury and get it in motion. You don't wait for them. You don't wait for me. Okay? You just sit around and keep waiting, and you're going to wait on death. And that's all you're going to get is death. And it'll show up one of these days for you. But nothing else will if you sit around and wait. You got to show that you're alive out here, people. You want out of the system? Then prove that you're alive. One of the girls was having a problem in trying to get her individual banker's EIN number. Well, she thought a little outside the box, and she went down and had a neighbor that worked at a tax place, and she went down there, and for $25, she got them to get the number for her. She knew that the number is important, so she was not afraid to pay a little fee to get it. But some of you other guys are just too damn afraid to even put a 49-cent stamp on an envelope and send it out. Oh, they might come after me. They might throw me in jail. They might do this. They might do that. Bull fucking shit. They're the ones that are in the wrong. Once you understand right and wrong, you want to operate in a communist organization? You are, when you stay in the public. Because that's all this damn country is in the public, is a communist organization. We were supposed to be a republic, not a communalism system out here with the churches and with the state in power the way it is right now. And every goddamn church out there is a damn communist organization. Even Martin Luther King knew that. And that's why they tried to condemn him as being a communist, because he was a minister in the church, in the Baptist, Southern Baptist Church, which is a communist organization. But he was trying to break out of it. And he was an insider, so that's why they killed him. The insiders they can kill. The outsiders they can't, because that is committing murder. But the insiders, they sworn allegiance to them, so basically they're under a contract, a death contract, if they violate it. Now, any questions, comments, rebuttals? The line is open.
Anyhow, I'll have a comment. We're not chicken to do it. Like, I just want to know what I'm doing. Plus, I got to get the forms like the 1099s and the 196s and the 56F and stuff like that in too. But yeah, I'd like to jump on it and go. But we can't. We have to have all these other things in our pockets, you know.
No, you don't. Okay? You don't have to have all that other stuff in your hand to do one thing. Okay? You've got a court case.
Yeah.
Okay? You've got your EINs now.
Right.
Okay? You've got your private banker. You go in there and shut that damn court case down and basically file charges against them in the private.
Right.
Dave here.
You can go after them. Okay?
I'm ready to do it. Yeah, I'm glad I'm.
Well, then do it. I've explained this stuff to you numerous times, Steve.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I just don't have the confidence to do it until I learn it and listen to it.
You'll never have the confidence if you don't get out there and try it.
Okay.
That's what I keep trying to tell you guys. You've got to get up in front of the mirror and start talking to yourself. Okay? Show that you're alive. Look yourself in the eye.
Yeah, be a man, Steve. Ha.
I just got to know what I'm doing.
You'll never know what you're doing if you sit there and just keep reading and reading, because that won't tell you a damn thing.
You have no standing.
You've got to get your spirit to tell you who you are. You've got to bring your life into play.
Right.
Here's one for Rod Class. He always says, let's sit down. Well, if you're going to sit down, you got no standing. You got to stand up.
That's very true.
That's
why they try and get you to sit down in court. They tell you to sit down. You start following their orders, and they have control over you.
You're damn right. You don't do a damn thing they say. What you do is you paraphrase everything, and you go, "Oh, would it be all right?" You just say, "I'm going to stand up."
Where do you get that power to order me to do anything?
Yeah.
I'm in the private, you're in the public, and the public can't order the private to do anything.
Oh, you can't talk to the defendant. He's not here.
Well, you don't argue the defendant in that regard. You come in there and you're there to settle, and you're to settle from the assets that they're holding in your account.
Right. I understand that now.
It's like you have to mimic that you're in the private when you're in the public.
But all you have to do is come in and lay this on them. Hey, I've got a death certificate for the defendant. He's dead. I'm here in the private, and I'm ordering you to settle that. And basically, I want that whole account closed down this very day.
Oh, I can put it this way. Your paperwork is the court. It says everything. You're just there to stand on your paper. That's all. You don't have to explain it.
But see, you own that court. You do that estoppel by deed.
Damn right.
Okay? You own that court because whose title is that court in? It's in your dead person's name, your public banker's name.
Mm-hmm.
And see, they put that there so that they can get access to the letter of credit that you have on file to fund that damn court.
Yeah.
It's all about the letter of credit and accessing that letter of credit that you have with the Social Security system.
Yeah.
That's why I brought that letter of credit back into play, and also the letter's patent. The letter's patent is a royal grant or gift. And that is why our certificate of live birth is our royal gift from the National Treasury as our inheritance in this country. The government can't grant it because they're just a corporation, and a corporation can't grant anything. But the sovereign, the national treasury of the sovereign, can grant that to us when we show that we were born here in this country, or that we got naturalized and we're now a full-fledged citizen, that we've done our time in service. 7 years to get naturalized.
The worst thing
7-year contract. And see, that goes all the way back into the Bible. All of this stuff is right out of the Bible.
we just can't be bamboozled because we own the damn government. We support it. They're supposed to be working for us.
Yeah, I understand that.
And we need to put the fear of God into them.
They are our customers, and now, as they are our customers to our private bank, and we now have established that we have a private banker or individual banker as our CFO of our private bank, even at the commercial banks, the CFO of that commercial bank can close down any customer account he wants to. You have that same power now as the CFO of your private bank. You can close down any of these customer accounts that are out here. That's all they are. They're customers of ours. We're not their customers, and we're not their slaves.
And Patrick, by authenticating our birth certificates and doing a counter deed on them, saying that we are the owner of that thing, we are scaring the hell out of them. This is the only thing that's working right now. I've been listening to the African American people on high frequency radio and something else now, and they're just having all these successes at doing estoppels and challenging the court with all their misdemeanors and shit, saying throwing up a constitutional challenge, and they're on a do not detain list, and it goes on and on. So we're really at the focal point right now, and we're at critical mass. So keep going.
Yeah, we've got more and it's simpler than half this other stuff. You don't need to do the affidavit. You just need to do the estoppel by deed. You claim those deeds, all those customer accounts that are out there that your private or public banker initiated. That when you got that Social Security number, you had to create a public banker. Now he's operating in the public, but he's operating in the public illegally. He's dealing with the foreign enemy. That's why they can take you to court.
Yeah, that is such bullshit. They have us under public enemy.
Yeah.
And we're so stupid, we walk in there going, duh.
Yeah, we're an enemy to the private, that public person is.
They're thinking, you dumb shits, you should know what you're doing. You're hurting our country. So I don't mind throwing you in jail because you don't know what the fuck you're doing.
Yeah, so basically if a cop pulls you over, you give him your number, your individual banker's number.
Yeah, not your
Social Security. I don't have a Social Security number. That guy's dead.
Yeah,
Here's my number. Here's my number in the living.
The cops have this slang now. They go, hey, can you give me your social?
Yeah, or they try and
I
give you your
hate
birth date.
I like to punch him in the mouth when he says that.
Yeah.
I mean, you idiot, ask me for a social. What are we, a socialist company now?
Yeah, SS. Right out of Germany.
Yeah.
Okay? And basically that's a communist organization, is the Social Security.
Hi, Hitler. You know, if Hitler would have succeeded, we'd probably be better off because he wanted to get rid of the damn banksters.
Oh, the communists. You want to get rid of the communists.
But that's just my opinion.
Yeah. But all the SS, see, that was initially, that whole SS was created out of the Church of Rome.
Everybody was pissed because a whole wheelbarrow of marks couldn't buy a loaf of bread.
Yeah.
That's why they went to war, because of the damn
And that's
Jews.
what they've done to this country. Basically, in the 1960s, $1 silver dollar equaled $1 Federal Reserve dollar.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's 17 to 1. It's on its way of going completely berserk.
That's a magic number, isn't it? Damn, I don't know how many times you brought that up.
Well, it converts out to the 666 number that initially it started out, our inheritance was cashed out at around 666,000 silver dollars.
Now I'm a researcher in physics and free energy and just the topmost science and suppressed energy and so forth. And 137 is another magic number.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
72 is for me. Also 64.
And this is also a magic year because I was born in 57 and I am 57, or was. I'm in my prime right now. I don't think I'm going to get...
Let's get back on target here. Anybody else got any questions about what's going on here?
Can you give me
about being a private banker, about knowing that you have a private bank?
Can you give me a quick blow by blow on getting a banker's EIN?
Okay, the template's up there. Tom can tell you where it's at, and I've got the summary sheet of what I did. And you go in and basically you plug it in, go through the categories that's on there, and try and match that up. And then when you get to your summary page, if it doesn't look like pretty much like what I have, then backtrack and start over again.
Oh. Can you give me like the bottom line description of it, just so I got like?
No, I can't.
Okay.
It's on that summary sheet.
Mm-hmm.
You're just going after an individual banker. It's a non-profit organization. Okay. And the individual banker has to be working for a company or an organization. So that is like you put down your name, all capital, private bank -ENT, because you probably won't have enough space to write out estate and trust.
Mm-hmm. And should I be able to do that online in about 5 minutes if I know what I'm doing?
It'll probably take you about 15, 20 minutes because you'll probably have to backtrack at least once.
All right.
But talk to the people on the group, okay? That's what I want you people to do. Start talking to the other people out here. And then when you have the knowledge, start helping the other people on the group.
Yeah, I think there's about 30 people online now.
The file you're looking for is in the current folder. It's on May 1st, and it's called SS4-Online Filing Example.
Thanks, Tom. Very much.
And then also there's an SS4 up there to show you how to get the estate and the foreign grantor trust. Read the instructions on that SS4 document. You go to this page 2 and you go down through, and basically they tell you which items have to be filled out for an estate and which items have to be filled out for a foreign grantor trust. And you can do those online too.
Okay. Yes, and that's the file on April 25th is called EIN for Individual Banker.
Great. Yeah, if anybody wants to look up Jonah Bay, he did a pretty good explanation on getting a foreign trust estate in a 98 number. If anybody needs any more elaboration on that,
you can find these files on Yahoo. Just go to Yahoo.
Yeah.
Go to the current folder, Internal Revenue Banking. Mm-hmm. Go to the Action tab on the top. Make sure it's sorted in reverse order by date. and then I'll look at the documents.
All right, thanks for all that detail, Tom. You do a wonderful job of keeping track of all that for us.
Anybody else out there have any questions?
Yes, sir. Mr. Patrick, I'm new to this, and I want to know, where do I start?
You need to get your EINs.
Get your birth certificate.
You need to listen to the last 2 weeks of calls, okay?
Yes, sir.
Get your birth certificate, too. I swear that's the most important thing.
I have it. Should I also homestead myself?
No, you don't need to do that right now, okay? This is more important to get this out. And then with this document that I had Tom post up today, you fill that out, and then you can modify that estoppel by deed document that I had him post up over the weekend there.
Okay, thank you.
But that's what you need to do. And basically, but now, once you get that individual banker's EIN, and then your estate EIN, and that's one where you declared your person dead. See, I didn't do the SS4s to get mine. I got my 98 series number by reading the damn 1040 Schedule A or Schedule B form. And basically on there, it said submit a, what the hell is it? 3225 or whatever form. 3220. 3220. Yeah, whatever. 3520.
Yeah.
A and, yeah. And basically filling that out and sending that in. Well, I used my Social Security number as my EIN, converted it into a 2-digit and a 7-digit number. Well, they came back and said that's not an EIN number, and they went out to Philadelphia and got it for me. Ogden, Utah did that. I posted that letter up from 1985 that the IRS commissioner sent out that was supposed to be destroyed, and basically right there he says in there that basically anybody that comes forward and wants out of the system, they have to get them all their taxes back, and to expedite it as quickly as possible. Read the damn document. And then down below, it said there that to use the 1040X form until a new form was created. Well, the new form that was created was the 1041 form, which was created in 1986. That's all you need to know. You don't have to prove anything more. Just looking at that document and looking at when the 1041 was created.
Patrick, that paper is a diamond in the rough. How long have you been holding on to that one?
I don't know. I just having to go through searching, and I got so damn many records, basically it's hard to tell what all I've got.
It must have came out from a B. Craft court case. Am I right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you can go online and find the court case.
Yeah, I hear David Maryland. I think he cut down David Bearcraft, and I thought Maryland was he seems to be like the know-it-all on the IRS taxing laws. But that's a whole other subject. But
see, people don't even understand what's going on there about why you don't owe taxes. It's because the 16th Amendment was never ratified. It could not have been ratified.
And he's got
like I said, all of these amendments since the 14th Amendment on up the line, the states could not ratify them because they were taking rights away from the people. And if they took rights away from the people, the states could not ratify them.
Plus your labor.
The people have to ratify them individually. And you ratified the 16th Amendment individually when you signed under penalty of perjury that damn 1040 form.
Yeah, that's an implied consent.
Yeah, you were doing an implied ratification of the 16th Amendment, saying, yes, I owe taxes.
Plus, you're trading your labor for even exchange. There's no income. There's no gain. There's no increase. If you get a bonus, that's an increase. That's taxable. That's commerce. That's in the your labor.
Your labor is not to be taxed, and that's in the law.
I learned in the state here when I started my answering service. Dave, you don't have to tax people for providing a service to people. I provided an answering service to people using a unique telephone system that I developed, and there was no tax on it. There's still no tax on most labor in most states. But why do they tax our labor? Why does the IRS do that? Because they got us.
They're taxing not you. They're taxing your public banker.
Yeah, they're treating us
That's
like...
what everybody doesn't understand. It's not you. It's the public banker that is out there that's being taxed because the funds are going into his account, but really the amount that's going into his account is bare minimum.
Yeah.
Hell, go down to the bank and get a CD and find out how much money you make off that damn CD. Find out how much they're making off of that CD that you bought. They're making 5-6%. You're making about 0.375%.
Not to mention all their fractionalization that they make money off of. Hell, banksters are the most evil people out in the world. God.
Any insurance outfit there is a ripoff.
Absolutely.
They're keeping your money out of circulation. That's the whole game of insurance, is to take your money away from you and hold it from you.
It's insurance to us, but assurance for them.
It's collateral for them to write bonds, to keep it in bondage. Then they can make a profit off the collateral usage because then they're writing liens against the collateral. And with the liens, they can write the bonds.
Our signature backs up the dollars. No fucking need for us to have insurance. If our house burns down, the government should just buy us a new house.
We've got the assets. We've got the inheritance. Okay? It's in our treasury. We don't need this public bullshit.
Hell, you got to pay even extra for earthquake insurance. Like you say, that they'll not pay on the littlest thing. Oh, you didn't board up your windows. Should have known there was a hurricane.
Okay, let's get back on talk. Anybody else got any comments?
Yeah, I have two questions.
Okay.
My first question is in regards to the private banker EIN. I have the Foreign Grantors Trust EIN in the estate, as well as the private banker EIN. But I know in regards to the Foreign Grantors EIN, which is the trust, if I went to court, they would ask me for a trust indenture in reference to that Foreign Grantors Trust, right?
You don't take that to court. You don't go into court with your Foreign Grantor Trust. The only thing you're going to go use the Foreign Grantor Trust on is with the IRS with a 1099-A to go and get your, basically, insurance policy, that letter of credit back.
You're mixing private with public when you're doing that. Don't do that. Don't mix.
No, I know about all of that. This is just something on my head, but
yeah,
you guys kind of.
Okay. The only time you go into court is you're there now for your public banker, okay? And he's dead now. You have your estate, so he's dead. You're coming in now as the individual banker, the living banker, and the private, and you stand over that court because now you own that court. That is one of your they're one of your customers.
Yeah, and I told that totally makes sense to me. I mean, it's perfect breakdown. My question simply was, I know that, banks have charters. All I'm trying to do is just focus on if, we talk about standing and I'm not trying to be belligerent. I'm just trying to make sure that I'm on point. Do we need to have a charter for us to be a private bank? I just want to know.
No.
Okay.
We've got a letters patent.
Okay, there we go. All right, that makes sense. I got you.
Yeah, look at what a letters patent is.
Right.
Basically, that is what our royal grant.
Right.
You have been granted that authority and that power.
Private law, you're the boss. It rules.
That's right. Okay.
Private law.
Because I knew there was a difference between the public and the private. I knew that when we was in the private, we have standing. They stand subordinate to us. I was just trying to, get you guys, feedback on that, Yeah.
So you don't need to do an affidavit. You have your document in hand. I have my private records. Okay.
Mhm.
You're operating in the public. Okay. I control you. You're a customer of mine.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
Now, you show me your authority over me.
Right. Yeah,
That's
perfect
the problem. See, we let them try and rule over us when we should be sitting on the damn 12-foot step ladder behind that judge, dropping things upon him if he steps out of line.
Yeah, thanks for that feedback.
10-pound weight at a time. Make him feel a little pain.
One more question. I know we were talking about the CAFR. Is that still in the mix here? Just curious.
Yeah. CAFR is basically a customer assurance fund reserve. That's what a CAFR is.
Right.
And see, they have that in a commingled fund. Okay, so everybody that basically is in the state or in the county or whatever, all the funds are in that one commingled account. That CAFR account for the county, for the state, or whatever.
Everyone commingled. Look that word up if you don't understand it. That's a very powerful word. Also look up special. And special deposit.
Yeah, special deposit is where it's at.
You are a special person in that court. You are not. You're private and you're special. Those are
special
very important.
And see, all these courts are banking courts too, and you're a private banker coming in there. Okay, so they're all banking courts.
Yeah, the bank. Yeah.
When I was in court, this buddy that I've known for a long time, a business associate, he goes, now Dave he's a very special person, and he was thinking like he has special needs, and he was thinking he was insulting me, but I'm thinking, oh, that's a powerful word. Thanks for saying that. Oh man, and that judge, man, he's kissing my ass now. He just does whatever I tell him. I got my house back, man.
Yeah, just as some more input. When I went into court, I came in with my paperwork as last name, comma, first name, middle, and I heard you speak on Jonah. As he told us, the judge didn't even say my name. He said the other party's name, but he didn't say my name at all.
Now, what am I? What? I know my name.
That's right.
Yeah.
It was I'm in the private. I came with the private name, so he couldn't even say my name.
Yeah, he can't, because basically your name in the private is just your first and middle name, not your last name. You don't have a last name. I'm not dead.
Right.
Well, your paperwork should have set the whole case up for you, so you stand on top of that when you walk in there.
But see, you don't need any damn paperwork. You come in there and basically you say, I'm here to settle. I want the charge. Give me the charge so that I can do the endorsement to set this damn thing off. I tried to endorse it out at the clerk of the court, but she wouldn't take the damn shit. Now I'm here to settle this damn thing. And basically that judge, you better tell that damn prosecutor to give you the charge to set it off.
Well, yeah,
because you're there to set it off.
You can just walk into court if you have to, but you should. But wouldn't you never want to just walk into a court without having filed something first?
Why would you need to file anything? You've got everything filed already.
Okay. Well,
It's all been filed already for you. It's only the public person that needs to have something filed. He has to have substance. Okay? We, as the living, already have substance. And I said that all along. That's why we really don't need to do all the damn forms.
okay. Well, I got to argue this, Patrick. You got to have some kind of standing, so you should have had some kind of gentleman's notice to let these people know what your status is first before you walk into court. I'm just going to leave
I've got my status. I've got my hospital birth certificate with my feet on the damn thing.
Oh, well, hell yes,
That's my
Patrick.
status.
God, with all your thousands of mailings and faxes and stuff, I believe that the public knows who you are.
Oh, hell, they know damn well who I am.
You're the master of chaos, as you call it, right?
Yeah, and basically, yeah, and they haven't come after me one time about frivolous filings. Even the postal inspector had a 4-inch binder of stuff that I'd submitted in.
I wish I could get a hold of my postal inspector.
I mean, he was trying to get me on every charge there. They had a U.S. Marshal there ready to arrest me. But basically, I stood my ground and they couldn't arrest me.
They're blocking my mail. It rains
because I was not going to admit that I was the public banker.
It rains.
They can only arrest the public banker if you cow down to them.
Private is special. Special is private.
Now, see, even the post office owes us out here. They've been using our assets also to fund their operation.
What really pisses me off is I don't really think they're sovereign territory anymore because they're owned by France.
No, you're wrong, okay? The sovereign territory is the land.
Well, they privatized the post office, and I wouldn't be surprised if the real estate's owned by a foreign country.
No, it isn't. No, they have a claim, basically we've allowed them to think that they have collateral usage of it. But it's all really our land out here.
Yeah.
Okay? All the state parks and everything like that really belong to the military. The military just don't realize that they own the damn shit.
Oh, I got a tip for everyone. Buy a bunch of, if you want to save some money, buy it $1 postage stamps, put them in a registered envelope, and you can take them anywhere. It's private mail. You can go through any customs, go to any country, and you can redeem those stamps later. It's a way to hold your cash.
Wow, what?
Did it make sense?
No, you're just going to have to convert it into the currency of the place that you're at. And see, that's what, as a private banker, you have the power to convert any currency.
I would love to think that everything I have is being held at the good old Federal Treasury, not the Federal Reserve.
The National Treasury.
In de jure money. Real dollars.
Now, it's held in silver and gold, okay? We just have to come in and basically have that much silver and gold pulled out and then converted into the other currency.
The what?
Then it becomes lawful currency. The Federal Reserve dollars now become asset-backed Federal Reserve dollars. They're not debt-backed Federal Reserve dollars out here.
If I ever get a check to cash at my bank, I always put redeem in lawful money only, and I change all their peso signs to dollars. With 2 lines through the S. Then you put it in red.
Most cases, that The only place that's going to help is basically in by doing that endorsement, and I've had those stamps up there for years, also about how to stamp your checks when you deposit them, and that will stop the IRS from taxing those checks.
Yeah.
Okay, as income. They can't tax lawful when you say that I'm depositing this as lawful currency.
Yeah.
Okay, they can't tax that.
What a great tip.
That's all. That's okay. That's that subject. Let's get back onto this other shit. Okay. Does anybody else have any questions about what I'm talking about this private bank and the public banker? That's what you need to understand.
What are you doing? You. What are you doing? No.
Okay, I guess there's no questions. You guys can go ahead and talk. I'm going to drop off here. Okay.
Pat?
Okay. Good night.
Patrick? Hello?
Yeah. Got a question?
Let's fill out some of the blanks on the estoppel by deed.
Okay, that'll work.
Yeah, 'cause that'll be good, 'cause I got a question.
Do you guys want to do that?
Yeah, go ahead, Steve.
Do you guys have the My Private Banks ratified estoppel by deed?
Yeah.
I haven't filled it out yet. I just didn't know how some of the stuff was going. When it says, like the first blank, you're titled, that's your name for your certificate of live birth, and then you say, as per my what, and then it says something county, and then a blank after that, I guess state. Are you guys there?
Yep.
I know he's talking.
I'm there too. I don't have it in front of me.
Was born upon the banking shores of America, on your birth date, and recorded in the banking title of then you put your county and state birthing land records on the what? What's the blank on the last part of the first paragraph? On the what? On America? On the state? On the what? State of? What it goes there?
Today, on the 12th of February.
Oh, the date, right. Birthing land bank records on the date. Okay.
Is that the date that it was recorded by the recorder?
Well, there's a date on the certificate of live birth that it was received by the registrar, local registrar. But still, you might as well just put your date of birth.
Yeah, but like I'm in California also, Steve, as a GA. On the side, horizontally, or I guess vertically, there's another date on my stamp.
I put in there recorded on the land bank records approximately 1 week later by order of the county court.
On the land bank records approximately 1 week later.
By order of the county court.
Okay, where is that?
So that doesn't go with the wording here, but that's okay. We can change the wording.
Go with what you have.
Birthing land records approximately 1 week later, yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, I actually have a date stamped, like I said, vertically on the side of the birth certificate. And that was like maybe almost close to 2 months after the birth date.
How do we know the county court did it? How do we know that? It wasn't a state representative or state registrar.
Hey, can you tell me where you're at?
I'm in Northern California. I was born in San Francisco.
I don't know. I mean, where are you at? What point?
Oh, I'm at the last part of the first paragraph of my private banking ratified estoppel by deed, Doc.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
I know how the rest of the stuff goes in my main private birthing patented bank account.
The only question I had there was
That's like the certificate number plus the state code in front of it, right? For the next part for my main private birthing patent bank account, or just this certificate number there. Certificate number, yeah.
Oh, okay. Now I see what you're talking about.
I'm on the second paragraph now. I'll stay with where you guys are at.
Yeah, I took
I don't have my EIN numbers yet, so I can't fill that out.
So you got to put that date it was recorded by.
I have local district registrar. I could put that in my wording on the last blank.
What blank you talking about?
The last blank that's supposed to be here on in September. Yeah, I knew it was time. But I've been trying, that confused me all of them.
Yeah, it is kind of confusing.
Yeah, it is.
Because see, anything can sort of go there until you get familiar with it, and that's what Patrick thinks we're all going to learn this stuff overnight in one day and go down to court and go, yell at everybody and tell them you want your truck back. But I got to know what I'm doing. This is all new technology. We're like gummy bears or something here, trying to get this stuck in our head right so we can talk it out right.
Well,
exactly.
you could have asked us on the call.
Yeah, I know, but it's no fun getting yelled at either,
Exactly. It's not. You can't learn by.
You know how many people have left these calls because of his yelling and stuff at people? I mean, all kinds of. I know all kinds of women and stuff that have left the calls because they can't stand getting bitched at.
Exactly.
Half the people have left. They don't want to get treated this way. We're men, we can handle it, but it's like, I'm not stupid. I went to school at UC Berkeley. I'm achieved a lot of things in my life. I'm just trying to figure this out. We're brainwashed, man. We got to rinse our brain out.
Yeah, you're not no idiot. Go ahead.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like we have to word it out. We have to think it out. It's best if the group keeps talking. It's like, that's great. I love it when people talk. I talked with Corey one night, and a couple other people call me once in a while, but I can't remember their names. But like Tim Marie's pretty sharp. She's like, she could help people. I'll be glad to help people. I give them my phone number so people can call me. I'll share what I can with Thomas is good. He knows what he's doing.
So you really can't fill this my private bank's ratified estoppel deed out until you get your EIN numbers.
Right. Well, I have all that.
But I don't, so I need to start there.
Right. But, these documents have changed every week, too. So, you got to catch up with that stuff and know what works and what doesn't, and what to leave in and what to leave out. And, it just makes your mind swim with words for a while until you settle down. You got to look at what lane you're in,
So, Steve, have you tried to go to the bank like what he was talking about doing, taking the birth certificate to the bank?
I haven't done it yet, but, yeah, I'd like to do that.
Oh, so you never did get your truck back?
Not yet.
Oh.
Because I don't know what I'm doing, I have to, this estoppel by deed's only like 1 week old.
Yeah.
Before that, it was a confirmation. Before that, it was Bailey. You know, it's like, duh.
True. That's the biggest problem with this whole system is.
It's not a problem. It's just learning. We're stepping up the ladder. I don't mind stepping up the ladder. I just got to know what I'm doing, and I'm not going to, like, I'm not going to go to court without knowing what I'm doing. And it takes, you have to have this in your mind for a week or more and talk it and see it and hear it and write the definitions down and everything else. And, like, I spend almost all day, every day doing this. I go out for a bike ride or go out and, you know, go to a church meeting or go to a food giveaway or something like that. I help out giving out food for people. Our church feeds probably 4 million people in its history so far, you know. But
I spent the last 3 days catching up on the last 4 calls.
Yeah.
And because I've listened to the last 4 calls, it makes sense because I've been following Patrick for a couple of years now.
Is that Bill?
It's frustrating. No, this is Orlando. I'm from Bakersfield, California.
Yeah, hi Orlando.
Hi. And the most frustrating thing for me is I don't get on the live calls often. I'm always hearing it after the fact. So any questions I might have that I might generate, if once I hear the next call, it's changed.
Yeah.
Because, you know, it's either been advanced or cleaned up or whatever.
Right.
But the last 4 calls, I like where it's going now. This is the most consolidated of information that's staying consistent. You know, the estoppel by deed has been changed and modified. So, like you said, now
and a banker's lien. Yeah, it's a banker's lien. It's ratified with a banker's lien. Yeah.
Yeah, but it makes some sense to me. When he was talking about going into court, the thing that keeps ringing in my mind is they're operating in a 2D effect where we operate in a 3D effect.
Yeah.
That's why it seems like we don't have to come in having filed anything. The estoppel does just what it says. It stops everything.
Yeah.
They still are waiting to find out what we actually know.
Yeah.
You know, so like you said, the more aware of what this is actually doing, the more informed I can operate coming into the courtroom. I went to court and I defended myself before I had a lot of this information.
Mm-hmm.
And if I had a lot of this information, there's 8 months of my life that I would not have, you know, been locked up. But I do know that when you go in and you seem to know what you're talking about, they are hesitant at doing what they do to everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm interested in this. What I really see at this point is, like you said, going to court. This is all about banking.
Mm-hmm.
Becoming that individual banker is what really gives us that authority. The foreign grantors trust really it's what allows us to take back control from them, what they created in our name. I mean, that to me is the long and short of it. So
yeah, but the private banker is really what you should be saying, not the foreign grantor trust, because that's just for collecting
right.
The fidelity.
That's what I'm saying. That's a holding spot.
Yeah.
The individual banker, and that's the key that is being an individual banker.
Mm-hmm.
That keeps me out of their system. That's what keeps me private.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as I'm private, I'm the one in control of my domain.
Mm-hmm.
Now, all the rest of this estoppel literally is going to take place or is going to take the place of all of these other documents that he's ever created is consolidated right here. Once we get this filled out and it's filed into the public to let the public know that I'm private, that's a done deal. Now I'm in the operator's seat, and we can do everything he said that we should do. I don't need all that other detail. I just need to know that's what gives me my authority. Am I making sense to anybody?
Yeah. You're making sense.
You know.
Yeah, it's just like learning. It's just like getting up to that level so that you can walk and talk it and chew gum at the same time type stuff. That's all.
Right. It's like I'm reading, like you said, reading the first paragraph, and it's referencing to the titled. I guess this is the second line after the titled and then the blank. I don't know what goes there, but the A must be as per my blank county.
Yeah.
Blank land-based recording. I remember back, a year and a half ago.
I don't know. You could put anything there. You could say per my birthing county. You could say per my, what do you call it? You could say per my.
Part of the county. It's part of your actual county. Wouldn't it be per your?
Yeah, per my.
Your county.
I live in Kern, so you be my actual county.
But it's your birthing county. It's not where you're at.
Okay, birthing county. Right.
But you have to say what your birthing county is. Like for me, it's San Francisco or something,
Right.
And then I'd put California.
I still live in mine. Now, after that,
it'd be the state, wouldn't it?
Then you put your state, yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. I am the one born upon the banking shores of America on the land.
I think that's your actual birthday. On the 4th of July, and recorded banking title in your county.
Current
and then the recorded date, land bank.
Okay. Now that birthing land bank records are when he stated they took your original birth certificate and recorded it in the land in the recorder's office.
Yeah, like my birth certificate has a filing date, so it's the date it was filed or recorded.
Yeah. So, now mine also. I have a book number and a page.
That you put in there.
That references to that. I got that through. I went down to the Hall of Records and asked, and the woman wasn't sure. I said, I know that we have the original hospital birth certificate, and she didn't know where I could get an actual copy of that. I said where they registered that original birth certificate at the recorder's office. She went and looked it up for me and gave me the page and the book number.
Now, Patrick said it's not that important that we know that. We don't have to say that. The date's the important thing. What they did behind our back, we don't really have record to it, but they do. We're still just making the claim.
Okay. So none of that stuff is actually
worry about it. Just like, he's telling me to go into court, even though I don't think I knew all the stuff. And Sunday night's call, Friday night's call that I missed, I had to catch up with Friday night. Sunday night I learned a lot. I've been studying that for 3 days. And now it's coming, rising like bread in your mind. It's like it's working. Okay, it's ready to get in the oven type thing. Yeah, I'm ready to start speaking. But
I'm actually, once I get my EIN numbers, I'm going down and I'm putting in on my case.
Yeah,
I'm
and
going in
but
and
he
putting in
says,
on my case.
and he does want to fire us up, and the oral recitations that he made today, as if he was me in court and saying how to get my truck back, that's really helpful too. You know, it's like, yeah, I appreciate that just as much as all these documents, because
I missed
we
that
don't
part.
know how to be assertive, and we don't know how to block out all that other stuff in our minds. Yeah, we're the leaders. Yeah, we're the owners. We're the princes and the principalities of America. We don't have to be afraid. It's just that we're brainwashed so much. We've never been up there. We've never, like swung a sword out like that,
I can tell you that when I did my court case, I had my little cheat sheet, and I went down my little cheat sheet, and I knew everything that I did was correct, according to, like he said, the common law people. Okay, but what I found out later is because I was in a court of the dead, where I said I'm in a court where I don't exist. It's a fraudulent court. It's a court that exists for the dead. But I was a live person trying to have my voice heard without the tool that they provide for you, that bar attorney. So literally, my dead person sat there and said nothing throughout my trial, because the judge, even though he was, and I have it on record, I quoted everything that I needed to do, the law, everything. The judge has the discrepancy of ignoring me as though I don't exist. Now, that's in maritime. If I had have known it, I could have had it moved to Admiralty, and he would have had to acknowledge everything that I said. But I also found out, too, everything is contract also. If I had have made a contract with my dead person, literally like we're doing here, he would have had to hear everything I said, and it would have got tossed out. But this estoppel coming in that 3D effect literally takes everything that I put in the record and makes it tangible now. It's no longer just out there, and he doesn't have a choice. So it's retroactive. It's like he said, everything that I did was like an investment. I can go back and I can get paid for the time they stole from me. And I have I like to tell people, when I was leaving court, my preliminary judge and my trial judge were standing in their chambers, and they had the most fearful look on their face. It's like they said, now I'm African American. It's like, how in the world does this guy know what he just laid down before us? What are we going to do if he ever figures out how to follow up on what he just put in the record?
Hey guys, I have a quick question.
Like this guy's part inside those courtrooms, there's a dimensional shift, and I think it happens once in a while. I've heard people say they've gone in there and something overcome them, and it's like a dimensional shift. It's like the sky's parted.
I had a friend in the galley that said he talked to the prosecuting attorney, and she told him everything he says in there is absolutely right, but he a lot of time. And it makes sense now, because it wasn't in there about justice. It's about banking. I could have went in there and settled the account and walked out a free man.
Somebody have a question.
Yeah, I had a question about a foreign grantor's trust.
Daniel,
I don't know, Tom. I was trying to look for an example of a template on the site there for the foreign grantor's trust. I've seen it for the estate and I already got my individual banker's EIN. I got that today. So,
Yeah,
does anyone have any template for the? Go ahead.
An SS4 foreign grantor trust?
Yeah.
I might have one.
I've seen one for the
Are you
estate,
on Skype?
and also,
Are you on Skype?
I have Tom on my Skype. I don't know if I don't know if it's a whole group thing. Yeah, I have Skype.
I'll post it on the Divine group if I find it.
What?
Yeah, I'll look for it right now.
Hey Tom, am I on?
What is the Skype name for the Divine group?
Patrick Divine Group, I'm pretty sure. Here, I'll open it up. Yeah, Patrick Divine Group.
Okay.
I don't think I'm on that group. I don't know if Tom can get me on that group.
Patrick Divine Group, just like it sounds.
Okay, I'm going to have to look that up.
I'm here on Skype now. I got Thomas Woodler here, but I don't have Patrick Divine.
I have to download the thing.
Contacts.
Well, see, he doesn't understand the stress and anxiety you go through by not having a truck and trying to work and trying to make a living, or just getting to go do a job, or like I might get to go paint a room for $30 or something. I mean, it's getting really desperate,
I don't know how
it's
that
like,
is.
you get screwed up, your life gets screwed up, and it's hard to focus or hard to think straight and get everything done,
I'm with
if I
you
would
on
have gone
that
half-cocked a couple of weeks ago, I wouldn't have had the results that I'll have now to go in there and assert myself correctly.
Right.
So I don't mind being a little tardy or a little slow about getting it, but getting it right. It's just like, I fly airplanes and stuff, and it's like if you don't do a flight plan, you're going to fly into some fog or something, and you're not going to get out.
Right. Hey, Steve, can I just give you my email real quick, because I can't find this Skype group. I searched Patrick Divine. Beachbike@yahoo.com.
H-bike?
Beachbike.
Spell bike. B-Y-T-E or what?
B-I-K-E. Beach. B-E-A-C-H. Bike. B-I-K-E.
H-pike, like H like Harold.
Yeah, beach like the ocean. Beach, sand, and then bike.
Oh, you have beach in here too?
Yeah.
Beach? The word beach?
Yeah, beachbike@yahoo.com.
Oh, B-E-A-C-H B-I-K-E at what?
Yahoo.com.
Oh, okay. Beach pike. Oh, that's what surfers do. A pike is like what surfers like to ride, right?
Yeah, but this is spelled with a B. Make sure it's not P. B.
Oh, beach bike. Okay, I got you. Beach bike, like a beach cruiser.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Yeah, I had one. I got stolen. My neighbor and I went to a local store for a beer, and we went in the store for 5 minutes. We came back, and both our bikes were gone.
Jeez. If you would, just send me that template for the Foreign Grantors Trust. I have other ones.
Yeah, I'm looking for it right now.
Thanks a lot. I think if you do that estoppel by deed for your court case, you might not have to explain anything. If you send it registered mail,
out of the assurance accounts that they have, and pay the private banker the money they've been withholding us. Like Patrick said, he demonstrated it really well with his recitation on the call, and he's done it before too. But I still got to understand all the words. I got to know what an estoppel by deed is. I know what abrogation and derogation and all these other words. I mean, he wants us to look at the words. You know, it takes us a while to look at all the words and write them down and understand them, and you learn to use them and say them.
You know, the way he explained estoppel to me, what made it easy to wrap my mind around is it stops. It stops whatever is in process. It stops it to the point where now they have to stop doing what they're doing and listen to what you're telling them to do.
Yeah.
Now, if I'm misunderstanding that, somebody say something. But that's how I see it. That's what makes sense to me. Because with the estoppel, this is literally telling them, stop what you're doing and do this. So if you get everything filled out for these estoppels, now all it takes is for you to apply it to whatever situation you're dealing with. But this one that he's got here, it covers a multitude of sins, man. It's taking care of everything so that you can use something out of it to apply it to whatever you're addressing. And that's why I'm trying to figure out for sure that I got everything covered and filling it out properly.
I have an SS4 for the estate. I think I might have one for the foreign grantor trust. I might have one, but I don't have it like on a file. Where is that?
I don't think Patrick ever put one out there because he got his through the IRS. And only
There's one on the website, I'm pretty sure. You know,
the
are
only
you
one
on the
I
Yahoo
see on
group?
the website is the EIN for the
No, he's got
individual
older ones
banker.
for the SS4.
An SS4 folder?
Yeah, he said something around May 31st or something.
Okay.
Or no. It's here. I'll see where mine is. Mine is
April, wasn't it?
I'm September 2013. September 24th, 2013. I'm pretty sure I have that document somewhere.
Let's see.
Might be in my room.
Yes, estate, foreign grantor, private bank.
I think I found it. You got to go all the way down under the files and look up. It's in a zip file. Revoke the SSN underwriting zip.
But what folder is that in? Is that in the American Banker or the?
No. It's almost at the end of the page.
Banking?
It's almost at the end of the file.
Oh, second to the last. It's right above the.
Right, and we can get off and talk about this. Everybody hanging up.
All right.
Are you guys going to stay on, or I want to find it too, just so I know where it's at.
Okay.
You can give us your.
We're going to the group, right?
Yes, in the group.
Okay, just a second. Okay, now.
And then go to the files.
Yeah, I'm at the files now.
Scroll all the way down to the end of the files, and it's in a zip.
Okay.
You're not on Concurrent, right? You're on the Yahoo.
Okay, at the end of the files, I see Internal Revenue Banking Contract Orders PDF. Is it below that?
No. Don't open up any files when you go in.
Yeah, I didn't.
Okay, and just scroll all the way down to the bottom. all the way down to the bottom. It's December 18th, 2013.
Is it in files?
It's in a zip file.
Mine only goes back to April, so I must have to do.
Yeah, I see that file. I got it open, but I don't see what's in there. I just see fax. There's faxes, 5 faxes. Then there's a recording, revoke the SSN underwriting, and SSN underwriting revoked, and Treasury Department PAC.
My last one is sample and Bosser layouts. You said December results.
That's right.
Oh, here
Go
it is.
up.
Revoke
Correct.
the SSN underwriting zip.
Yes.
Okay, I see it. Fax to okay. Then okay. I'm at the file.
Okay. I found the form SS4 for estate.
Yeah, I have that one.
Okay, that's under.
It's not the foreign grant of trust, but you know.
No, that's under.
SSN underwriting revoked. No.
No, that's under the American Estate Banking. If you go in that file, you'll find the SS.
It's not in the zip?
No, if you go in that file, American Estate Banking,
okay,
you'll find an SS.
What's the date on American Estate Banking? Is that up above?
July 21, yeah.
Okay, I see it, yeah.
If you scroll down,
that's just the estate EIN, isn't it?
I don't know. It's an SS4 form for estate only.
Right. I was just wondering if there's something like this for the foreign grantor trust.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to find, the foreign grantor trust. I don't know. I've seen the estate one from the individual banker. Just couldn't find the foreign grantor trust.
Hey guys, this is Daniel in LA. How many people are still on?
About 12 or 10 now because they hung up, but it's still being recorded.
Okay. Well, remember back in the call when he talked about getting the EINs, he had mentioned something that he didn't get it through the SS4. That he got it just by chance reading the Schedule A and the 1040. You guys run by that?
The IRS gave it to him. The person, the agent, gave it to him. He didn't fill out any forms. The agent filled out the form for him, and then they gave him the EIN number for the foreign grantor trust.
What led him to the agent doing it by what he read in the Schedule A? Didn't he mention something about that?
Yeah, he said he put his Social Security number in, but 2 numbers, then a dash, and the rest of his numbers.
So when
he went through several levels of agent and got up to a manager. And it's a tactic you need. When you're not getting the right answer, go upstairs.
Oh, okay. So he inputted his social, but then they corrected it for him.
Correct.
Okay. So is there actually a file that he had mentioned to in attaining the 2 EINs in the shareholders group?
I don't know, Tom.
Because I've looked at the SS4 and it does mention the estate and the trust, but I got a little confused with whether there's actually a template to go ahead and kind of save us the trouble.
I don't know. Ask Tom.
Tom. Is Tom still on the call?
Okay, he's still there.
So I'm open to help anybody out with anything. I'm just trying to get settled here. I'm trying to find all the files, and I only have a smartphone to use for the time being, so that's why I'm having to search for everything, and it's taking me longer. But I'm pretty familiar with the 1099-A, the acquisition and abandonment forms, as well as the 1096. But so if anyone's got any questions or whatever, you can email me at universalman2015@yahoo.com.
Hold on a second. Can you spell that, please?
Yeah, it's universal, like the universe, but universal.
Okay.
And then man, like woman, but man.
Okay.
2015@yahoo.com. In fact, any of you guys just shoot me an email so I have yours, and we can kind of start chatting and exchanging info. And like I said, I'm more than welcome to help anybody move through some of the forms that I've studied for several years and stuff, and have a firm grasp on some of that stuff. And then we can move on to the estoppel deed. And just really quick, while I have the estoppel definition on Black's Law, I just want to read it because I liked what I don't know the gentleman that gave us his pretty much general and nutshell approach to estoppel, which is stop. Who was that gentleman?
That's Orlando.
Hey, Orlando, it's Daniel over in L.A. How are you, brother?
I'm cool. I'm here in Bakersfield.
Oh, right on. Well, you're not that close to me, brother, and I make several trips to Fresno, so.
Okay.
So just really quick, I want to read the estoppel definition in Black's Law just for anybody to hear, and maybe it'll kind of put a good, kind of a general idea for them, and they can formulate their own approach. But estoppel in Black's Law Dictionary, Third Pocket Edition, is a bar, B-A-R, a bar that prevents one from asserting a claim or right that contradicts what one has said or done before, or what has been legally established as true. Number 2, a bar that prevents the relitigation of issues. A bar that prevents the relitigation of issues. 3, an affirmative defense alleging good faith reliance on a misleading representation and an injury or detrimental change in position resulting from that reliance. And then they have the sub-definitions that are different from the actual estoppel. And I'll just read one of those. Actually, I'm going to read 2 of those because there's a list of them. But the first one underneath estoppel is called equitable estoppel. And that's a defensive doctrine preventing one party from taking unfair advantage of another when, through false language or conduct, the person to be stopped induced another person to act in a certain way, with the result that the other person has been injured in some way. And then that one rang a bell for me with what Patrick was asserting to. And then I'll read this other definition. Estoppel certificate, a signed statement by a party such as a tenant or a mortgagee certifying for another's benefit that certain facts are correct, such as that a lease exists, that there are no defaults, and that rent is paid to a certain date. A party's delivery of this statement stops that party from later claiming a different state of facts. And I'll just leave it at that.
That, for me, again, it's looking at this from that perspective of the 2D versus the 3D. These estoppels that they have established to take control over our lives, they've brainwashed into accepting that what's there is all that's there. And we've been operating in that 2D world when there, in reality, there's a 3D, which is us coming into that 2D world with that authority. And this literally really just, it trumps any other thing that they have, because it sets the bar below you, and you stand over and above everything that they can operate on.
Okay, if you guys look at the
tools with that, with these other documents.
If you guys look under the file that was just put out today, the Internal Revenue Banking file.
Look in it or under it?
Yeah, look inside of that folder.
And my private banks ratified estoppel by deed, Doc.
No. Everything is in that folder, basically. Everything you need is in that folder.
What's the name of that folder?
The Internal Revenue Banking.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. I've seen that before. All right.
It has an example of a SS4 online filing.
Yeah, I've used that one.
And it has an EIN for individual bankers.
Yeah, I'm using that one right now.
And then it has
my form.
Then it has a request private bank and regular and individual bank authorization doc.
But that one right there, we're no longer using because the establishing your EIN for the individual banker is what makes us a banker. We're already authorized to be a bank, what I'm understanding, because of who we are, our positions as part of the land, as being land.
Yeah, I asked Patrick that too, and he said actually getting that EIN number is the permission.
Is the key, right?
Yeah.
We no longer have to go and request from the state permission to be an individual bank.
That's
exactly. It's getting the EIN number for operating as an individual bank that makes us an individual banker.
Exactly. And Orlando, let me just really complete what you had said earlier. I got to get off, but what we're doing here, what we should remember is we're expressing a trust. So, like you said, where we were operating 2D. Now, if we were to operate in 3D, we can give this text multiple meanings. So when we're looking at it, remember we're looking at the subtext, what's really being said or what can be said, if that makes any sense. So we're indeed expressing a trust, and it's our trust. And if you can come from that approach, you'll start to see all the knowledge that you're reading in front of you. You'll start to see it in a different way, in a more empowering way, and you'll start to get a different meaning of it in a way that you can express it in the court. And I'm in the same boat as you guys, just so you know.
Okay, I concur, because the thing that rang a bell with me is when Patrick said that we're the ones. We what you just said. I hate when my brain is not working on all cylinders.
All good.
But by looking at it from that perspective, I literally am the one that controls what's being done because of what's been established here. Now, I'll listen to this later and say, how come I didn't say it differently? But I concur what you just said. I'll leave it at that.
I got it. I totally got it. Thank you.
Okay, guys, I'm going to get off and try and establish my Skype connection. My computer recently crashed. I lost everything, so I'm trying to get it back up. So I guess till next time.
Till next time, guys.
I will try and reach out to you guys whose email I have. I'm Killer B, KILLERB as in boy 959 at Gmail.
Got it.
If anybody wants to shoot anything at me.
You can catch me at IBAPreacherman at Yahoo. I, the letter I, B, the letter B, A, the letter A, Preacher Man at Yahoo.
Cool. Everyone probably is on the Divine group, I'm assuming. If that's so, you can look me up at CREs. C as in cat, EORIES.
Repeat that, please.
CREs. Oops, sorry. C as in cat, E, A, right. I'm sorry, EORIES. I almost forgot my own Skype. It's a combination of Cancer, Leo, Aries, so it's CREs.
TEORI.
CORI. Okay.
C as in cat, EORIES.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, and I'm in Skype as I Be a Preacher Man. Oh, take that back.
I'm on Skype as Killer B 929, not 959.
Take that back. I don't remember mine, so don't go on that. Thank you.
All right, guys. Have a good evening. I enjoyed getting in on this call. Hope to do it soon. Again.
Excellent. Look forward to hearing.
Thanks, everybody. All right.
Have a great evening.
All right. You too.